Welcome back. We're going to be mixing things up here a bit. For the next 52 weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the biggest learning lessons I've had in business over the last 16 years. Now, I don't know about you, but it took me a minute or two to actually come to the decision to do this. Nobody likes to talk about their failures and their lessons. Everyone wants to talk about their successes. But sometimes it's our lessons and our failures that really, really help us move forward and can help other people move forward as well. Jim Rohn once said, it's too bad that failures don't put on seminars. I kind of chuckled at that at first, but it's true. How many times have you actually learned some really valuable lessons through somebody else's mistakes, somebody else's failures? Well, I'm going to help you this year, and I'm going to be sharing some of mine throughout the year. Fortunately, there's only 52 weeks on. I only have to share 52 of them. Maybe we'll continue it next year, but for now, you've got 52 of them coming your way. A stupid man makes a mistake and then continues to make mistakes after mistake after mistake. A smart man will go out, he'll make a mistake, and then he'll learn from those mistakes, and he'll try like hell not to repeat them again. A genius, however, will learn from other people's mistakes, other people's failures. And what I'm asking you to do for the next 52 weeks is to be a genius. I know you've all got it in you, so learn from my mistakes, my failures, and don't make them yourself.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. Lesson number 1, how personal guarantees can come back and bite you in the butt. When you take out a credit card or a car loan, or you sign a lease on an apartment or your cable bill, all of those are personal guarantees. In the event you don't pay, you're on the hook and they're coming after you. Now, in the case of a car loan, the lease, it's for the entire amount of the lease or for the car loan, plus interest. Nothing unusual here. Well, in business, when we set up corporations, the whole idea is what we're trying to do is limit our personal guarantees, our personal liability. That's why we set up C Corps, S Corps, LLCs, LLPs, or trusts. These entities are designed to shield us from any personal liability that might arise as a result of these operations, these businesses. But what happens? What happens when we run our business? What happens with our landlord? Do they want only the corporation to be responsible for the rent? No. They want to get everybody on the hook as much as possible, right? Any of you have gone out to set up a new lease for a new business? That's what's going to happen. You do an SBA loan. Does the federal government want a personal guarantee from you? Heck yeah. Do they want assets put up for collateral? Heck yeah. Business loans, same thing. Lines of credit. Even sometime on vendor accounts if you're a new company and don't have a track record with them. Everyone is trying to figure out how they get repaid. Can't blame them. But you really have to look at what is the ultimate exposure for you. What could this turn out to be on the negative side if everything goes wrong? And guess what? Sometimes it does go wrong. We don't enter into business thinking, I'm really pessimistic about this thing. I'm not quite sure. No. What do? You go into business saying, this thing can't fail. I am a rock star. But it doesn't always work out that way. Take a lease for some office space. It's a 10-year lease. Common. Let's say it's $10,000 a month. Okay, no big deal. $120,000 for the year. So you're on the hook for $120,000 for the year. Now, let's look at the entire lease. 10 years at $10,000 a month is $1.2 million that you're on the hook for. Now the numbers start to get real. And this is my lesson. It was a long-term lease, and the numbers were even higher than this. I had no idea, no plans, no belief that I wouldn't need that space for the remainder of the term. As a matter of fact, I probably even needed more space, right? That's how the business plans go. Yeah, we're going to grow out of his space. We're going to need even more space from this landlord. Well, it didn't turn out that way. And I was looking down the barrel of a very, very large personal guarantee on space I no longer needed. The next is kind of a side note on this personal guarantee, but I want to mention this as I was doing the notes for the show. I realized that this does come up. It didn't happen to me, fortunately, but I just want to get it out there because I don't want it to happen to you. And that is joint and several liability. And what that means is that you and let's say some partners or some additional individuals agree to be responsible for a loan, rent, whatever it might be, some sort of responsibility and liability. And you do that as a group. And you agree, even do it in writing, you agree that, hey, you got 5 of you, right? I'm responsible for 20%, you're responsible for 20%, etc. Well, the way these contracts get written is you're all responsible for 100%, and it doesn't matter what you've done behind the scenes amongst yourselves, because if one person doesn't pay, guess what? Each and every one of you are 100% responsible. So you got to make sure that you check these contracts very carefully, understand what you're signing up for, because a lot of times those partnerships dissolve, those partners leave, those individuals are no longer around, and someone, the one with the money, the one with the assets, is holding the bag. So be very, very careful on joint and several liability. Also applies if you have a partner, they go out, take out a loan as an officer of a company, just themselves, you had nothing to do with it, they take out the loan, you and the company can be on the hook. Yes, you heard that correct. If they default on a loan that they signed as an officer of a company, that bank is going to be coming back to the company to pay that loan, even though you had nothing to do with it. So the question of the day is, where have you given out your personal guarantee and not thought much of it? What are your ultimate exposures in your business, and where can they come back to bite you in the butt? Find out what those are and try to figure out how to reduce those, how to eliminate those, how to manage those. Sticking your head in the sand, not paying attention to them is not a good strategy. I do not want to see you learn the lesson that I learned. Please. I hope you'll find these lessons over the next 52 weeks to be helpful. You can also head on over to our Facebook group, Peak Performance Nation, and you will find on Fridays is one of my favorite days, Failure Fridays. It's about where the group shares all the little things that they've done that, quite frankly, didn't work out the way they wanted to. And they share those experiences of what happened and the things they would do differently next time in order to avoid that loss, avoid that lesson. And I don't know about you, but I want to be a genius. I want to learn from other people's mistakes. I don't want to have to make them myself. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.